Hello and welcome to Brew Babes podcast. We are officially in the double digits for episodes. This is officially episode 10. So we are in double digits. And with me today is the amazing, the beautiful, the talented Taylor Woods, my beer soul sister. How are you?
So good, Danielle. So good to hear. Hello, podcast land and breweries of Tampa Bay.
We are missing Kat today. We're actually recording. Normally we release video where we release episodes on Wednesday. We're actually recording on Wednesday because on Monday we were set to record, and we did get a message from Kat. Most people have seen it by now if you are a fan of Gulfport Brewery, but they had a tragedies happen this week. Their head chef, their kitchen manager, Travis, who I've met, and he was a lovely guy and young. He's only 21 years old. Was in a horrific accident on Monday and did succumb to injuries from the accident, which was very unexpected for that team. And also his wife, who has three children that he was the stepdad for, and they were all very, very close. This was definitely a very tragic accident that nobody expected. We took a couple days off to kind of give her time to process all of that, but in the end decided this was a great way for us to kind of talk about some of these things and let Kat and her brewery family deal with the aftermath of everything going on. So our hearts definitely go out to all of them, the family, Gulfport Brewing, and of course our beer sister Kat.
Yeah, babe.
So because of this, it definitely derailed all of the plan that I had for this episode, which was going to be a little bit of some fun stuff. But I really wanted to talk, and you've been in the brewery industry not only here in Florida but in other places, and I think it's pretty similar everywhere. Gulfport Brewing, the whole staff, they closed down for the whole day on Monday when this happened. And then they opened yesterday, kind of late in the day. All the servers gave their tips over to the family and they had no kitchen. They are open today, but they're grieving and they're grieving like a family. And I think that it does the craft beer industry. And I'll ask you because again, I've only been here in Florida. It is very, very close. And whether you're at the same brewery or different breweries, the craft beer industry and the community really, really are like a family.
For
Is
sure.
that where you've noticed everywhere?
For the most part. I think you'll have these mismatched breweries that don't fit into that mold, but either the brewery itself is this family and you're connected to this brewery extended family of all the other breweries, or it's your customer.
Oh, yeah.
And at a previous brewery, it was like we were a restaurant, so you have that teamwork, you all work together, and so that felt like family. And then when I came to Florida, I started working at the brewery because I was helping my mom out while she was going through treatment and everything. And then that's when I fell in love with the brewery community at Emerald Coast because they were all there for me when I was going through all this tragedy of like losing my cat and then going through the dying process with my mom. Just having, I mean, they became my dear family. And so having that group of people to rely on, to talk to really real, to kind of break beyond that customer service wall, to really talk to people like, hey, this is what's going on in life, what's going on in your life, a little bit of your therapy, so to speak. And I think we all find, yeah, it's a huge community. And I don't know if it's just for sharing beverages. It's like sharing food together at the dinner table. We're sharing beverage, sharing beer together. It brings people together and you have more heart to heart talks and you really get to know people. But I think it's either, yeah, the community of the place you work at and how everyone works together. And or it is the community of beer enthusiasts, beer drinkers who come together and create that extended beer family around. And ultimately, that's the whole reason why I'm still in beer, because I don't drink alcoholic beverages. I love the
Right.
taste of it. I love the community. I mean, it really is a family to me. And I know they have to, you're always checking in on people, always seeing how they're doing, bringing them into your family, and everyone knows what's going on in your life. So, yeah, 100% agree. I mean, in some way or another, I think most breweries.
And I've been in food and beverage before this. So my family owned bars and restaurants, and and of course you always have like those family little spats where it's like, I don't want to be at the family business. You're holding me back. And so I have worked at a lot of other places also. And I feel like in most places in food and beverage, team, I want to say I like to use the word team, but for a lot of places it's staff and management kind of deal. And I feel like the staff in all food and beverage places get very, very close to one another. You're in this high intense atmosphere all the time, and you learn problem solving together, and you learn all these kind of things together, and it really bonds you. But I like the community that I see in the beer industry goes so far beyond just your team members at your location. It's really, like kind of all over. And I will say, and there's two kinds of places. I think that there are the types of places that do kind of still keep that distance. We work in a place, we work together at Emerald Coast, and there is one family that owns it. And because they are such a close-knit family, and they have cousins that come in, and uncles and aunts, and like, parents, and everyone kind of comes in, that it does kind of keep them, they're very close knit to each other, but then we as a team have become very close knit to each other.
Yeah.
So while the whole place I wouldn't say isn't one big family, which again, it's just a different strategy. Different businesses have different strategies in the way they manage things. We have become very close as a family. I know one of our coworkers, Cody, joined the circus.
Yes.
And while you were traveling, you went to literally stopped out of your way on your road trip to go see him.
Yeah. No, I mean, he started off as part of the family as a enthusiast or as a patron, and then quickly made his way behind the bar and short-lived but left. And yeah, I mean, I think I'm still connected to my brewery sisters from Arizona, going to one of their weddings later this year. I mean, once you're, and it may not, we're not all under the same family, but maybe it's like a whole bunch of different families under the same HOA or in the same neighborhood or something.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I am very close to people that I worked in the food and beverage industry before, and I'm still close to them now, even 20 years later. But then there's a different type of brewery, and that is the type that Kat is at, where they have created, this is owners, management, everybody. This is not just, oh, the staff became really close because they're in these, close quarters and it's high intensity and they've learned, but it is everyone there. And they are each other's family. And there's a lot of breweries like that too. And like I said, there's no good way, right way, or wrong way. It's just that different owners and managers have a different view of where to draw that line. Gulfport, there is no line in the who's family. If you're there, whether you're a customer or whether you're a team member there, or whether you're an owner or a manager, they have become so incredibly close that they are truly grieving like brothers and sisters right now.
That's so sad and so beautiful. And it like really shows how, I don't know, I just imagine kind of in those walls, and you don't know. I mean, we're all family. I don't know. It's kind of crazy how the bonds it creates.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't I like both, both ways of doing things are fine for me. I work at a few different places, and I remember being in I own a marketing company for breweries, and I actually get really involved with my marketing clients because the best way to market them is to understand them and to be able to tell their story as authentically as possible. And we were all in a group chat. I had a group chat with the entire staff. And there was something that came up, and all of a sudden someone went, I'm going to move this to the family chat. Because even though I was their marketer, I was very much involved with every, day to day, this is our team and we are a family, and certain things we kind of come in together and we make those decisions, and then we bring other people in. And I think there'd be a lot of companies that would be offended by that. I thought that was beautiful to just see people be that connected to one another, where nobody wanted to make a decision until they had all talked about it, they had all kind of come to where they were all comfortable, and then come back and let other people in. I thought was such a beautiful experience for everyone on that team to feel so valued. And, like I really, and I know you work at other places that aren't breweries and things like that, but to feel that kind of camaraderie and value to one another, I think is something that is beautiful. And unfortunately, when the tragedies happen, it means you're all grieving together.
Right,
But you
right.
also have to look at how beautiful it was that you had that connection to begin with.
Yeah, something kind of otherworldly. Because you never know. I mean, it's like it's easier to create separation of business and like keep boundaries, open up a space where people feel like your brother, like truly feel like your grandma or your aunt, brother and your sister. I mean, yeah, it affects you. It affects the whole like horizontal platform. I mean, value is really our modern currency. Like we value up here, we value each other, and that's like the highest form of currency, the highest form of love and commerce these days. Like
Yeah.
I see you, I want you here, you every day, and what you're, and that's in the beer culture. Beautiful.
Yeah, and I said this about Beer Week. Beer Week is like being with your 200 best friends that you guys never get to see each other. And it really does feel like that. Like it's not like it's these colleagues, and that I think is the difference is I don't feel like very many people in the beer industry are my colleagues. I feel like we're in this beautiful journey together, and because of that kind of shared experience, it's a so different than because I've been in food and beverage for many, many years. And it's just such a different way of looking at your community, at your customers, at each other, at other, even though technically I guess to someone else it would seem like we're competition, but we're not. Everyone is genuinely rooting for each other.
Great, yeah. It reminds me of like kind of like original comic. Someone made the sourdough bread, and your heart and soul was like put into this, and then you bought it or gave it to someone, nourished it, loved it so much, and that you were put into it. In the craft beer industry, it's all love that's put in the beer, the craft recipes. You have people selling them who are putting their all in their love into to try something you love. And kind of losing that train of thought now, but essentially, I know it's just there's so much more heartful in the craft industry that I
I
think
think
is
so.
lost in big box stores. That's
Mhm.
kind of lost when your products are made from somewhere else and then brought in, having
Yeah.
it like original in that spot and then giving it to the community. It's timeless.
Yeah. And I know from where we are and other things, we both have connected so closely with the patrons that have come in. And I hate to call them patrons now because for me, they're just our friends and
Friends.
our family. So, we've done holidays with them. We've done all these things where it's like it doesn't even feel like work because I still get to spend Thanksgiving with these people who I genuinely love.
Right.
And I would genuinely invite into my own home around my own table. And so it's really been such a great experience. Like and I really wanted to be able to talk about this today because I feel like with everything that Gulfport is going through and we can kind of give them all of our heartfelt our hugs, our love and all of that. But I think that there's a bright spot in something like that's tragic like this that you can all kind of take a step back and say,
Yeah.
but what love and compassion and connection we have all grown with these people who we would never normally in life even have crossed paths with.
Right. All over a shared beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one of our in the first few episodes we kept saying it's more than just a beverage, it's a community. And I think that what's happened this week is just the kind of the pinnacle of showing that this isn't about beer. It's not about one location or one beverage or one anything. It is this beautiful community that's being built and still continuing to be built, even though there's ebbs and flows. It's still quite young and it's still being built. But and then you have, we did an episode on Mo and how he's the most enthusiastic enthusiast, and but it's these people who literally, I know that if I was in a jam I could call Mo, even though we don't live in the same place. He doesn't even come into our brewery because he doesn't live anywhere near us.
Right.
But I could call him in a second and he would be like, what can I do? What can I do to help you?
Yeah, it's the bedrock. It's the foundation of, I don't know, this love, this community. So much more than beer.
I feel like beer is the byproduct of our community instead of it being the main focus.
Yeah, it's like the path. Like what's that quote? Like it's not the journey, this just the product to get to the destination that we didn't realize was the community. So
Right. Yeah. So our hearts go out to Kat and everybody there, and Travis and his family, Travis's wife and the three kids. And there's a GoFundMe which we will also put out because we want to make sure that we're helping this newly widowed woman with her three children, and be able to put that out to give them a little help, not just from Gulfport's community, but from the craft beer community as a whole. So, and like I said, I said from the beginning, and I told you guys, to me, the podcast is my own personal love letter to the craft beer industry. And I think that a day like today shows why.
right, it hits the whole demographic.
Yeah.
I mean, one travesty, tragedy, all of things is one for all.
Yeah. Yeah. And we grieve with them. So, there was a lot of fun things that we could have come on here and talked about, but it just didn't feel right when so many of our people were grieving to come on and just be lighthearted and, and things like that. But I did have some things going on and we did talk about it in the last episode. So I did want to give an update. I did go to try this.
There we go.
It was this past Thursday. And okay, I'm going to give you the good and the bad. It was an amazing event. There was amazing food, there was amazing beer, and there was amazing people walking around. It was such a fun event, and I'm so thankful that I did it. Here's my one bad thing. It was not a competition.
You came in ready.
I came in ready to compete. I was like, and maybe I just watched too much Food Network. Because because and Food Network used to be like you learned how to cook, and now it's all competitions. And maybe I just assume that that's where we were everybody's competing because that's what you do when you cook. And it was not a competition, but I'm gonna claim a win.
Okay.
It was not a competition, but I did have several people who did not know each other come over and say to me, I thought this was going to be a competition, but it wasn't. But if I could have voted, you would have been in the top two.
There you go. So can you give us an explanation of what this whole event, how it all went? What was the yeah? Just give an eye.
All right. So, Best Florida Beer, which is, they are the nonprofit organization that breweries submit their beer to for competition. So when you go into a brewery and you see all the medals hanging on the walls, most of the time in Florida, it's because they've won one of the tons of categories in Best Florida Beer. So that's where those medals come from. I will say that Best Florida Beer is one of the organizations that I will say is the most legitimate in their judging. It's a blind judging. You have no idea what you're drinking. You have to go through classes to become a judge. You have to pass a test, or you have to be a certified Cicerone. This is like no joke. These judges are trained.
Top tier.
Yeah. And they have no idea. So it's not like, oh, well, everybody loves, which the one that won, Wilbur is the name of the beer that won. It was Web City Cellar. Everybody loves Web City Cellar, so they're going to be the winners. Nobody even knew what they were drinking. And so, now Wilbur was the name of the beer that won overall at Best Florida Beer at Brewers Batch over the next week. They're going to have German beers coming up, and that. So they're a nonprofit organization, which means that they have to fundraise to be able to pay for all of these things.
Right.
And one of their fundraisers is this event called Try This, where they take amateur chefs. There was 15 amateur chefs, and you got paired with a craft beer from somewhere in the Tampa Bay area. I got paired with Tidal Brewing.
Okay.
And so I went to Tidal Brewing. They submitted a German Pilsner and I sat with them. We tried it. We said, okay, what flavor profiles do we think would work best with this? And then I created a small, they're bite. I don't want to say bite size because mine was a little bigger than bite size, but basically a small, like appetizer size, single serving of something to pair with this beer.
Okay.
So it was super fun. I did not know that you could cook on site. And that would have changed the way I did things because I did a deconstructed smash burger because I put it in a crock pot to keep it warm because I didn't know I could actually like cook the meat like while I was there.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I did it in a sauce so that it stayed tender, but still kept all the fat to it. Where if I could have done it fresh, it would have tasted better. And I would have done it a little differently, but that's fine. It's okay. I still won.
Of course. Yeah.
So whatever. But so you go around, it was at a Blind Tiger in Tampa and you buy a ticket and you get all the beer. Every amateur chef is also pouring the beer that they were collaborating with. So people would come up, I would explain to them what my dish was, they would take it and I would pour them a beer in the little sample cups and then they would go around. And you could go around as many times as you want. And many people came back to a lot of the different things. Independent Kitchen was there. They were it said 15 amateur chefs. Independent Kitchen is not an amateur chef.
That is qualified.
Yeah. They're not amateurs. They're professionals. And honestly, they've been around in the Tampa Bay area for like 20 years. So like not only are they professionals, they're super successful, fantastic chefs. And they were the ones right next to me, of course. Yeah. So, like I'm like, I want to win. And they're like, it's not a competition. Well, yeah, of course it's not a competition to you because you guys are amazing.
That's funny.
And but now they're great. Then they really did. They made it great. They had a pulled pork slider.
Still did pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Too. So
I did pretty well considering they were the ones next to me. And people were coming back to me and going like, this is amazing. So that was a lot of fun. And again, not a competition, but I did very, very well. I at least placed.
Great fun. Florida's best beer.
Yes. And it was a great fundraiser for Florida's best beer, best Florida beer. I always get those two mixed up. But and Karen, who is the chairman of Best Florida Beer, was there, who has been in the beer industry for so long. And I just love hearing her stories. Like, when you have like that grandparent that has done so much cool stuff. And then they just like flippantly tell you a story like it was like, oh, no big deal. But then we did this. And you're like, I'll give you an example. My grandfather worked for NASA. I didn't know that growing up. And then all of a sudden, like I was looking at something, he goes, oh, when I was an engineer for NASA, we did this. And I'm like, what?
All the wise tales of your people past.
Yeah. And Karen is one of those people where all of a sudden she'll be like, well, back in 1982. And like she's telling a story like this is just no big deal. And I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. So I love hearing her talk and I love talking to her. So that was really cool. And there was a little venison burger, which I think they would have beat me. And when I think people say top two, it's because of them.
It's just venison burger.
And it was yeah, I did. It was amazing. And they were cooking it fresh. So of course that's always going to make a big difference. So yeah, no, that was really, really cool. It was a great event. Thank you, Best Florida Beer, for putting on such a great event. And I can't wait till next year because now I'm going to cook there because, now I know I can.
Yeah, plan it ahead.
I am. I'm bringing it. I know it's not a competition, but I'm winning next year.
Go, girl.
Eventually, someone's going to have to make a beer and an amateur chef pairing competition just to shut me up.
I mean, it's possible.
Someone's going to have to do it. It's just going to be...
I'll give you an award.
Just give fake awards. We love your food. So that was really cool. It was a good weekend. I put on the Rays. We have the channels for the Tampa Bay Rays at Commerce, and I put on the Rays game, and I realized I was watching the longest baseball game to ever be known to man.
Okay. Okay.
I think it when we were closing up at 11, it was just finishing and it started at 3:30.
Dang.
Yeah, so at 3:30 it started, then there was like a 2-hour rain delay, and then they were tied for the like many innings. I'm like I don't care who wins anymore. Just someone get a home run because this game is now like longer than my shift.
Right. No, it
Right.
sounds
No,
like
it sounds like
we all we all wrap it up.
come on, let's someone score here. I don't even care anymore. Just finish this up. But no, so that was a fun that was again the longest baseball game. I haven't watched baseball in a long time, so then to sit there like and I keep looking back and I'm like, "Oh, okay, inning 14. Yeah, we're still going. Cool. Okay." So so that was cool. What anything cool that you did this past week?
This past week work. It was a busy, surprisingly steady Friday and Saturday. Um, wild. It felt yeah, a little wild downtown. We Smith Bears, live music, good people. And then I'll be there this Friday, that fourth Friday, and Saturday.
Yeah, and this fourth Friday, I did one of my things for this week is I joined the promotions committee for the city of Newport Richey. It's not the city exactly; it's the Newport Richey Main Street organization, which is like a separate organization. And I did join their promotions committee. So if you are near Newport Richey, thank you.
Yeah.
If you are near Newport Richey, there is only this fourth Friday, which is in 2 days, and then next month, and then they're taking a hiatus until September. So
Okay.
if you like fourth Fridays, make sure to come out because there is going to be a little bit of a break, mainly because it's 4 million degrees outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the summer.
come drink beer along with that. You don't
Yeah.
be in the
Yeah, so you can come in, you can have beer. There's a lot of great places downtown. We have some great food trucks coming out. But the fourth Fridays will be taking a hiatus because they're mainly outside and it is literally like standing on the sun within a couple minutes of being out there. So, get out in the next couple weeks. Was there some I want to say that there was something else going on this Friday too, but I don't. There's like a K-pop thing all in Tampa. I don't know what K-pop is.
Korean pop.
I know what it stands for.
I
I don't know what it's
Korea.
gonna do to the beer industry this weekend, or honestly, if I had known about it before, I would have told any of my marketing clients, like, get on that and, do
Just like
some K-pop trivia or something.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there is a bunch of events, K-pop events going on all over Tampa this weekend. I don't know what that means, but if that means something to you, when you hit a brewery before you go to one of these events, because I don't think there's any brewery around that knew what K-pop was or that could put an event together to go with
This
it.
could be a slight interception of your demographic. Like that in Korea, like yeah, might be a slight interception for pop.
Yeah. So, and then I want to next week, Kat will be back in studio. So we will be able to be all back together and she'll be able to tell us what's going on with her. Any big events, not this weekend or anything, but any big events that because you actually do have a big event coming.
I do. I will on May 1st, so not this Friday, the following Friday. I'll be at Brewing for their Fem Number, which is a event for women by women, celebrating women. So it's a group of women vendors. There'll be another astrologer, not astrologer, but someone who does like astrology based cocktails.
Oh,
That'll be there. Yeah, they're called Mark Gemini.
oh,
Excited
that's
to
interesting.
hear to them. But a ton of they'll be using the alley side there as well as the side. You can get taxes for free. But all just supporting women like a couple before Mother's Day. So make sure to come out to that. Really lovely and Sky phenomenal brewer. just for a year. Great stuff. And Dan too. Yeah, up there, and then just kind of kick-started my astrology that following Wednesday at and then the following week at Newport Beachy. But I will be out in Ybor.
That is awesome. And I went and saw you at SIP this week, which was so cool to be in the little speakeasy and just be able to kind of, sit with you for a little bit. And then what is GlizzFest?
Liz. Oh, yeah. So that'll be July. That's Coffee and Oddities of Brooksville. And so outside of astrology reading, outside of working with the breweries, um, I've done a few at posts, but this is a big hot dog themed festival. Get coffee and oddities. So we're gonna have like a dunk tank, a hot dog eating contest. We're going to have a group of characters. We'll have fairy hair and a variety of things. That'll be July 5th. Just a little out from that. For anyone who sponsors, volunteers, all of that good stuff. If you want to time people to hot dogs, that's great volunteering opportunity. And you can record what it's gonna be wild. But yeah, kick off after July, and then a lot of proceeds will go to the Warrior Project for
That
that fundraiser.
that's awesome.
That'll be a lot.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. And obviously, we're not telling like I wanted to let people know now because if they want you looking for volunteers and sponsors. So if and sponsor the show also. We have not said that yet this episode, but we are looking for sponsors because this costs money. And but honestly, this is going to be a great event in July, and like just keep your July 4th weekend going, and that go to this one and volunteer because it's a great charity and raising money for a good cause. But yeah, and if you didn't see and hear, my dogs are in the studio. And normally they are fast asleep because they could care less about beer because I don't give them any. And so some kind of like branch must have fallen off of a tree somewhere and they decided that they wanted to wake up and they are literally at my feet. So that, everything shook. So sorry about that. Yeah, so now they're awake. But it was lovely speaking to you. I will see you this weekend because we do actually work at the same place. So I get to see you a lot more than other. We get to be part of each other's family.
Yes, and then sending all our support and the cat family there. Sending all of our love.
But yes, thank you guys so much. We love you. Thank you for being part of our podcast family. And I will see you later on this weekend, Taylor. And anyone who wants to come see us, you know where we'll be. Love you. Bye.